In Finding Ezra Part 1, I told of our son Jeff and his wife Raylyn, who had 3 biological kids, but believed God wanted them to adopt. If you haven't watched that one yet, make sure you go back and watch it first. But I'll continue the story from there. My sister Maya was adopted from China, said Raylyn. We wanted to offer a young mom the same chance Maya's mother had. So, in July of 2019, they met Anna, a pregnant teen headed for jail. They stepped in to rescue her child, but discovered he had fetal alcohol issues. On day 8 of the adoption, Anna revoked her consent, taking this little guy back. They were devastated, as were we, and numb for 2 days. Then the birth mom called, sobbing, apologizing, "Will you take him back?" Of course they would. 10 days later, she reneged again. So it was that our family gathered in a Walmart parking lot. We cried and held this little guy. I prayed my favorite prayer, help. The social worker fought tears as they surrendered him for the second and last time. Hours later, Anna, the birth mom, sent Raylyn a horrible text. This was my plan all along. I was so upset, but they responded, "We're praying for you. God loves you. He sent his son Jesus to die for you. He alone can set you free." And now, for the rest of the story. 9 days later, the phone buzzed. A teen had given birth. She wanted her baby boy placed in a Christian home. Check. In the country. Check. One with siblings. Check. It was the most insane moment of my life, says Raylyn. We were in the middle of harvest there on the farm. I was cooking supper for 10 guys on the crew. I called Jeff, but the cell coverage was bad. Jeff laughed when he told me about it. All I heard was, "Baby, hospital, let's go." When Raylyn jumped from the van, she yelled, "There's a baby waiting, let's go." Jeff's combine began spewing smoke right then. The mechanic shook his head and said, "It needs a part, it'll take 2 days." Jeff thought, here we go again. Like eager kids on Christmas morning, the two rallied babysitters and took off, laughing and talking about baby names. The birth mom was peaceful, kind, and grateful. As they talked, she said, "I can't believe I found you. Would you name him?" Raylyn smiled and pulled out a long list of baby names that they liked. "Would you help us name him?" Jeff asked. Her eyes scanned the baby names and stopped. "I love that one. Ezra," she said. A judge would reject the adoption twice and offer the birth father the opportunity to contest it, but he didn't. "God called us into this together," says Jeff. "We didn't fear losing him." 1 year from the day we stood in that Walmart parking lot, Ezra's adoption was finalized in court. Today, as we visit, his sister, 6-year-old Sophia, feeds him, comforts him, and soothes him with loud country music. Macy, age 3, dresses him funny and shows him how to hold a kitten. Clara is 4. She is convinced that their brother came straight from heaven via the front door, and it's hard to disagree. Jeff and Raylyn are not naive enough to think that all will come up roses from here to eternity, but they believe God never calls us without equipping us, and they have a message for those who are hunkered down, waiting and hurting and praying and hoping. Don't give up. God's schedule seems so much slower than mine, Jeff admits, but all along we clung to the seemingly ridiculous notion that He was working even this together for our good. So we just tried to take the next right step. As for what they would tell adoptive parents, the two say in unison, "You're awesome." And you are. As Grandpa, it is my duty to shoo away the cat and bounce this laughing little boy on my knee. This is the way the Ezra rides, and suddenly I am laughing too. You see, Ezra is the Hebrew word for help. When I prayed in that Walmart parking lot, I prayed for help, and I had no idea God would take me so literally. We told you subscribe or the duck gets it. I'm happy to report you've subscribed, and the duck's fine. Keep it up.
Christmas season, duck season, mating season. It doesn't matter anymore. Just shoot me.